Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Journey Unknown's Facts and Figures. I'm Laura, this is my beautiful partner, and my fiance, my spunky man Troy. And
on Valentine's Day, by the way.
Yeah, it is Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day to everyone out there.
We are sweating bullets in here, so we're going to make this super quick as much as we can. But we're here today to talk to you all about Esperance and where we went from Esperance through to Bustleton, really.
Facts and figures.
Yeah. So we've technically been on the road for a month now, so we can actually give you all the figures for 1 month on the road. And remember, we travel fast, so we're eating more, we're using more fuel, we're staying a lot more places, and we're doing a lot more Ks.
That's right. And don't be concerned that we're going so fast. It just means that we're going to go back and do it again.
Yeah, exactly. So last night we put out our episode of Esperance. So we got a lot of good comments.
Esperance is such a beautiful spot.
God. You can tell.
Just amazing. The weather was beautiful, stunning. We had some wonderful comments come in of how beautiful the water was and how nice some drone footage was and that. So that was really nice, and we really appreciate the kind feedback. We also do get negative feedback as well, and some of it's justified and some of it obviously isn't. People tend to jump to conclusions very quickly on things. Just to give you an insight into some comments that we get, someone was suggesting that I've taken over the channel of Journey Unknown, considering it's always been our channel. And it
has been for like at least 2 to 3 years since we've been together. So
a little bit of a backstory with that. Laura started her channel with Loz and Coco, and she was travelling Australia with Coco, her dog, and she had a few hundred subscribers, and you're just sort of starting out, and it was a brilliant little channel. I also had a 4-wheel drive channel on the side. We had just under 1,000 subscribers at that time, and Laura and I met, and we decided to put our channel together and call it Journey Unknown.
Yeah, create a new channel.
Yeah.
On top of mine. So
that's right. She already had it established with the sort of content that we wanted to show you guys.
Traveling, camping, caravanning.
So it was completely different to my 4-wheel drive channel. So that's how that all started. Absolutely not at any stage do I feel like I'm taking over or talk over the top of Laura. Laura does the editing, so she can edit me out whenever she wants or talk whenever she wants. So it's a shame that you feel that way. Or some people, it's actually been brought to our attention. Someone directly messaged us about it as well, and then deleted the message afterwards. So we just wanted to address that so people don't insinuate things. And
you know what, it's hurtful, so that's why we're talking about it, because we've received a good handful of negative comments over the last week, and quite frankly I've had enough of it. and so's Troy. So
and people might say, well, that comes with the territory,
and it does.
You know what, we're human, we're just like you guys. We're trying to put out some good content, some informative content for you guys to see, and maybe get some tips on where to stay and all that sort of stuff. That's all we're doing it for. We don't sell anything, we never have, we never will, and we've said that from day dot. So just go a little bit lenient. If you've got some feedback, we're all for feedback, no problem at all. Someone said, look, your music's a little bit loud in the background.
We'll take that on board, but there's other things that we won't, because they're just downright rude. So
someone suggested that we don't pick up Coco's dog poo. Utterly, completely untrue. We collect Coco's dog poo all the time. She's a female, she squats, so it might look like that in the background, but
we know when she's weeing and when she's doing
100%. So you might see us ignore her because we know that she's weeing.
Trust me, if you want me to put more of Coco's shit on camera, I will do it.
We'll load it right up. Anyway,
let's move on.
We're going to move on.
So Esperance. First thing we did at Esperance, we said this on the video, was we went to the visitor centre, and I have saved all of these and I can't wait to just put them in the bin now because I just wanted to get this episode done. 100% go to Esperance Visitor Centre and get yourself some brochures and talk to the ladies or the men there. This is your main one, the Esperance brochure. It tells you everything about Esperance, where to stay, where to go, what to do. Then, if you've got a dog, they have a brochure. Where can I take my dog? So handy. Now, if you want to camp in Esperance, they've got a coastal camping brochure. Again, very handy.
Grab that one.
And then if you want to do the 40k loop Great Ocean Drive, they've got a brochure for that. So that was the first thing that we did, and then we went back to the RAC Esperance Holiday Park and we sat down. We like, right, where are we going to go? And that's what we're going to show you now.
And one thing I will say is it's hugely dog friendly. So if you've got a dog,
yeah,
100% you can go there. Most of the areas are 2-wheel drive as well as 4-wheel drive. So
yeah,
it's all listed. You won't have a problem.
All right, Dale, grab the camera.
Oh, here we go. Oh, look at this pub has just done way too much swimming. You got something to say? She's over me.
Okay. So you know that my sister flew into Esperance. The airport is actually out here. So it's about 20 k's from Esperance. So that's Esperance. That's the airport. Right, so our first stop was Membernup Beach. Now this was a locals beach that we mentioned, so it's not really on here. But I'll take you down the road. So you go down this main road. And then you turn down Daniels Road. And that's why on the video, on the episode, I said it's called Daniels Beach. So this was the camp spot here. Now, that's on Camps Australia map, and I'll put that in again for you guys. The other place that you can camp, if that's busy or you can't get in terms of 4-wheel drive or 2-wheel drive, come down here to Alexandra Road, and there's Alexandra River and Alexander Camp. So this is the tourist one, this is the locals camp spot, and that's where we stayed. So after Membernup Beach, we were going to go to Alexander Road Camp, but we decided to just go straight to Juke of Orleans. So we cut through here, a shortcut, Orleans Bay Road, and we stayed at the caravan park here. Now the reason we did that, as we said on the episode, is because they've got the best beaches. So the famous Wharton Beach is here. Then you've got Juke of Orleans Bay, and then you've got hiking, fishing, snorkeling and all that. So we based ourselves at the Juke of Orleans caravan park for 2 nights before heading back to Esperance.
The Juke of Orleans, I was pleasantly surprised about that caravan park. That was quite nice.
Yeah.
It was very peaceful.
When you first drive in, you probably don't get that real good feeling about it, but then the sites were big. The bathrooms were amazing. They're like these country style modern bathrooms, and then the general store, like to go and get chicken nuggets and chips and fish and chips, and it was the best. Extremely
friendly as well, the staff in there. They were really nice and helpful.
Yeah, and
you can go here, you can go there, take your 4-wheel drive here, fish there.
Yeah.
They didn't put me right on the fish, but they told me where to go.
They gave you all the hot spots.
Yep.
And every time we went into the reception there was always people in front of us adding another couple of nights to their stay. So that's how good it is. One thing we didn't show you on that episode was that my sister and I actually went to Cape Legrand National Park, and Troy and Coco stayed back. So I'll show you which way we went, and I'll put in the footage shortly. So we cut through here, Cape Legrand Road, and we went all the way to Rosita Bay first. To get from Lucky Bay to Rosita Bay, you need a 4-wheel drive. It's all corrugations. Then we went to Lucky Bay, we went down to, so that's Lucky Bay, we went to Thistle Cove, we went to Hellfire Road, we went to Cape Legrand Beach. So we checked out all those things. We didn't go to Frenchman Peak, that would have been awesome, but next time when we go and stay there. Then we came back up here. And
just to butt in, I parked the caravan about here.
Yeah.
All the way back here, so about 20 k's out, wasn't it?
Because this is the national park where it starts, that line there. So we parked the caravan down here, and that's where Troy and Coco stayed. And then we came back up here, came back through to Esperance, and then stayed in Esperance, and then this is the loop around the Great Ocean Road loop. So that's Esperance. Okay, so as you can see, we kind of just looped it around Esperance, and it was the best thing we did. We spent 7 days there. We saw as much as we could possibly see in that time without overdoing it.
Yeah, you could spend a good 2-3 weeks there for sure. What do you think of my new thongs? They're called Sandies.
Sandies. And what does Mummy say?
Don't take your Sandies inside.
Correct.
I've already been told off.
Look at mine. That's why we got the muck mats, eh? Get dirt and sand off.
That water was so nice. Just the temperature was beautiful.
Nice.
We've got an easterly wind. That's the reason why I didn't catch any fish. And the waves are up, so we might try to find another location.
Yeah.
And we're not going to cop this easterly because they generally stick around for about a week. The mongrels. Anyway, let's get dried up. Cold beer, lunch on the go.
10 to 12.
We're on.
After Membernet Beach, after Juke of Orleans, my sister desperately wanted to go to Lucky Bay because it was rated the best beach in the world last year, 2023, Lucky Bay. So we went. It wasn't a very nice day. It was overcast, a little bit cooler. But what we did is we actually drove up to the information centre where the ranger is, and we said, we've got a dog, can we keep her in the van? They said no, no dogs at all. So we did a loop out.
We had to drive another 20 kilometres out because there's nowhere to park the van outside the national park, so keep that in mind. You can go in there, you just obviously leave your dog somewhere in a van. I parked across from a farm and it was a bit of a turnaround for trucks. They had plenty of room to sort of go in and out, and I just sat there and put Starlink out and did a bit of work and stuff like that, so that worked out fine.
You did some odd jobs on the caravan.
Fixed a few things on the caravan.
Coco just slept, and we were only gone for 2.5 hours, like just under. So what we did is we hightailed it back to the information centre, and one thing that I found out once I got there again for the second time was that there's actually no cafes or restaurants or anywhere you can buy food inside the national park.
No.
So you need to take your own food.
Alright, we're just dropping the caravan off just here at the side of the road. We were going to go into Cape Leveque. Obviously you can't take dogs in there. So what I'm going to do is stay back here with the caravan. We're probably about 20 k's out of Cape Leveque. Just unhitched. Coco's here. So Laura and her sister Adele can go in to see Lucky Bay and have a bit of a mosey around for the day, and I'll just kick back here with my Starlink and just watch a few shows. And I've got to fix this table that's come apart on the corrugations, so I'll be doing that. All the girls will be enjoying the sunshine.
Thank you.
And the beach.
You'll be with the coo, daddy daycare. It looks like it's going to be a quick trip. There's no cafe or restaurant here in Cape Le Grand, so it's not like Wilson's Prom where there's a big visitor centre and general store and fish and chips and that. It's very much self-sufficient. So haven't had breakfast, don't have any Milo. It's not a great start to the day. We'll go check out Cape Le Grand National Park and then we'll head into Esperance, get some food. Stop number 1 is Reseda Bay. You need a 4-wheel drive to get here. It's 6 k's of corrugations from the Lucky Bay turnoff. They're pretty horrid. There is a bit of a sandy track down the side of the road which we took. It's not as nice as Lucky Bay, but on a sunny day that sea would be beautiful. Like, you can already see how nice the colour of the water is. Feel like I'm back on the Great Ocean Road at the Eastern Beach sign. Definitely back with the tourists. Anyway, we're at Lucky Bay and you can drive onto the beach here, but I'm not going to risk it for the brisket, as Troy says, because I could get us in a lot of pain. So we're just going to walk down. Pretty hard. This looks pretty cool that, oh, you've got these white sandy beaches. My God, it's so ridiculously reflective. White sandy beaches and blue water. And then you've got this little cove over here that you can explore. Rock formations in the background really make it. To the right is Frenchman Peak. It looks pretty spectacular, but we're not climbing it today. This place looks pretty magical. I love how you can walk up on the rocks and you can probably jump off. Let's have a look. Okay, final stop on the Cape Le Grand tour. This is Cape Le Grand Beach. Not that they rode it there, but like all the other ones, but this is Cape Legrand Beach. This is the end of the line. There's a camping area here, toilets. Camping area to the left with toilets. And this is the picnic area, the day youth area. And you can drive on the beach too. There you go. 22 k's to Wiley Bay. So this is what we did. This is Cape Legrand National Park. We actually came down here, turned left onto Lucky Bay Road, and this is the gravel road to Rosita Bay. Didn't rate that one too much, and the gravel road was bad corrugations. Came back, came into Lucky Bay, very touristy, beautiful. This side of the bay is beach. This is a little cove, that's beautiful. Then we drove out, came to Thistle Cove, beautiful beach. Just, it's hard to access, so you really need to pack your bag and everything, pack lightly to get down there. Then we came up to Hellfire Bay. That's stunning. That's a good place to hang out for the day, that's for sure. And yeah, it looks like you can walk the whole way around. That would be pretty cool too. Then we came out, we turned left onto Cape Legrand Road, and here we are at Legrand Beach. So we'll just have a look around here and then we'll head back out. That's where we are now. That's the entrance to Cape Legrand National Park, and Troy's somewhere down here. Okay, we're back 2 hours and 15 minutes later. That's not too bad, is it? Let's see what the troops have been doing at Daddy Daycare. Daddy Daycare!
Back.
What's been happening? Mummy's home! Oh, you brought me Kenny! You brought me Kenny, girl!
That was quick.
How was Daddy Daycare?
Good.
Yeah.
She's been a good girl.
Yeah.
Help me fix the table.
That's good. I'm sure she helped.
Let's go.
That's good.
Is it worth it?
Yeah.
Hi, Kenny.
Yeah. Hello. We're all back. So then we went back to Esperance.
The RACV.
RAC.
RAC.
RACV
I always say
in
V on the end of it,
Victoria.
don't I?
RAC, and then we we just chilled for the rest of that day because it was a long day.
Yeah.
A few people have been asked about the camera that we had sitting up here for Coco. So that's from Kmart. It's an Anko indoor Wi-Fi camera. It was $69. It's the best. It's got great night vision. You can actually talk through it, and you can swivel it right around. So
Yeah, it runs off your inverter though. So
no,
No? 12 volt?
USB.
Oh.
Yeah, so I just plug it
Doesn't
into
run
this.
off your inverter. I've never hooked it up. Laura
I
always
just
puts
hook
it
it
up.
up to this light, this USB under here, under the light.
Yep.
And then that's it.
You can move it around, I know
Yep.
that. You can sort of glance back and forth, and Coco watches you do it.
Yeah, so if you're moving it, she looks at
She's
it
like,
and
"What's
she's
going
like,
on here?"
What's that?
Yeah.
And then she gets all anxious.
Yeah, so people have asked a lot about the camera. They've asked a lot about the sandwich box
Yeah.
that Laura purchased.
Yep.
Which we love that sandwich box. We use it daily. It's
Yep.
awesome, especially if you're travelling. We got that from Bunnings. I can't remember how much it was, but it's in the container area of Bunnings.
Yeah.
Also, one thing I did want to mention is the fuel that we've used, and we'll probably get
Oh yeah.
that up to that shortly. But we average around between 18 and 20 litres per 100 kilometres. So all depends on which way the wind's going. The other day we had a perfect south wind behind us, and it was, under 19.
So it depends if you've got a tailwind, east to west, north to south.
It doesn't go over 20.
No, and it also depends on how full our water tanks are.
A few people have also suggested, can you tell us how many tanks you use? Now that's also a difficult one, because we might just be topping up, so we don't keep track of per tank, so to speak, because we might get to an area we've got half a tank, and then we'll put half a tank in, or a quarter of a tank, or a whole full tank. So we don't really know how many tanks that we use, but
sometimes we might put 2 full tanks in a day because we're travelling that much.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
But not disappointed in the fuel consumption whatsoever. Actually quite pleased with it.
What I'll do is I'll put in here somewhere what is the highest amount of fuel we paid and where, and what was the lowest we paid and where, and those dates.
Yep.
So you get an understanding. We met some people yesterday and they told us that Exmouth, where we're heading to, is $2.45 a litre, and to do all our shopping in Geraldton or Carnarvon on the way up, because it's going to be too expensive up there.
That's one good thing about talking to people that are going the opposite way. They'll give you a couple of hints and tips where to stop, where to go, where not to go.
Yep.
So thanks, Michael and Margaret.
Right, so still to come. So we're obviously now 2 weeks behind, just because I wanted to do the Esperance episode on its own. So we have travelled a little bit further than what you guys have seen. So where have we been, Dale?
So we made our way from Esperance and we drove all the way up to Raventhorpe. And
you still call it Ravensthorpe?
Ravensthorpe. Right here. And that has the best lolly shop I've ever been to. Huge amount of lollies in there. Loved it. Kept making our way down, all the way down here and across to Bremer Bay. Now, Bremer Bay is a top little spot if you don't like crowds. Beautiful little area there we stayed at, and just did a bit of swimming and stuff, but you'll see that on the episode. Kept making our way a bit south, then north of Albany, across, and we were making our way to Alexandra Bridge. Now that place was just fully packed, couldn't get in there, and we had to keep moving on, and then made our way further across all the way over to Margaret River, which is... where is it?
Yep.
Can't see it.
Keep going up. Yep.
Oh yeah, over here, Margaret River. And we had all these plans to go wineries, breweries, the whole works, but it got thrown into a bit of chaos because we got kicked out of a caravan park. But that also will come up on an episode, just to give you a little bit of an insight. And then we spent a lot of time with family around Bustleton area, so we didn't film a lot there, but that's the gist of it.
So now we have officially done the south coast of WA, because if you look back here, that's the border of WA and SA. So we've gone all the way down here to Esperance, and then gone to Bremer Bay, and then through to Mount Barker, up to Margaret River, and to Bustleton, where we will end the next episode. That brings us to the figures. What have we spent in 1 month of travelling? Now, I've had a couple of sleepless nights, I'm going to be pretty honest about that. There's some times where I've gone to bed with a few tears in my eyes going, oh my god, we're just spending too much money.
Really?
He probably doesn't know about that.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, just stressing about groceries are costing too much, fuel's costing too much, or we're eating out too much, and I had to reassess. And also the budget got too complicated. So initially, before we left, I had in my mind, this is how many free camps we're going to stay at, this is how many powered sites, low cost camps, and that. Forget it. If you think you're going to stay at free camps all the way around Australia, you're kidding yourselves.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can do it, good on you.
You might see it from a lot of people, but it's not reality.
And they're not always in the best locations. Like, I don't really want to drive 50 k's to the nearest town to top up on something or to see the local attraction.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I had to change the budget towards the end of the month. At the start of the episode of our journey, we said the budget was $8,000 a month. It's now $10,000, but some of that is for home expenses. So the actual trip budget is $5,750 a month. Okay, just for the trip. This month we finished at $5,794.21, so we're $44 over budget. Also, one thing to note before I show you the figures is I did go and do a orca whale watching tour in Bremer Bay, and that cost $391. That wasn't taken out of our monthly budget. That was actually used from some money that we got for our engagement party as a present from some of our friends. So that doesn't come into it. But here are the figures. Hold your breath. $2,365 on fuel for the month. $1,021 on groceries. That absolutely has to come down. That's ridiculous. We took $800 cash out for ourselves, and some of that went to even more groceries or drinks or eating out. We spent $798 on accommodation. I didn't expect to spend that much on accommodation, so that's powered sites. If you want comfort, if you want to rest, you want to not necessarily do our washing, but we just want to pool, or we want to be closer to a jetty, or we want to be closer to the shops.
Yeah, let's put that into perspective as well. Some parks, there's only room for an ensuite site, for instance. So you've got to pay that extra because that's the only thing that's left. It's busy around Australia. It is busy, and we're not real peak season. Like, it's not school holidays at the moment. So
we spent $658 on just miscellaneous items, things that we've bought along the trip or done or gone to a few pubs and stuff. $391 on my whale watching tour, and then $150 eating out in Bustleton, and that's purely just paying for dinner for family instead of paying for accommodation. So altogether it was $5,794.21
for 1 month.
Plus the whale watching tour.
Yeah.
So
it's quite interesting too. We've met people on the road, obviously, and some people have been travelling for 2 or 3 years, and even the other day the guys were telling us that he doesn't drink, his wife doesn't drink, they very rarely go out, and they're spending like $75,000 a year on just travelling.
Yeah.
And most of that is fuel and groceries.
Yep.
Simple as that. So keep that in mind.
It's really going to be interesting to show you guys what the final amount is once we've finished our lap.
Yeah.
And I'm more concerned about how this second month is going to go, because seeing $1,000 for groceries and
we're not even really remote yet.
No, like nearly $2,500 on fuel. But anyway, that's how the cookie crumbles, and
that's it.
Darling. Oh, first of all, Kay's travelled to Bustleton, or leaving Bustleton, 5,262 K. So we've clocked over 5,000 on this trip.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so we're at Coronation Bay. Sorry, the battery went flat on the GoPro, or the SIM card ran out. Something happened.
Yeah.
Coronation Bay in Western Australia. You'll see it on the upcoming episodes, but I will say it's like a windsurfing sort of
Mecca.
Yeah. So that's where we are now. Extremely hot. The wind's died down now. It's beautiful. I need to get the drone up.
It's so nice. We've got the windows open now.
Yep.
And the hatches. We don't know if we're going to stay here tomorrow night or we're going to move on tomorrow morning. We're not sure. The beach is a little bit seaweedy here. So, yeah. Anyway, you will
awesome.
wait and see. But check out the footage that we put in of our setup and pack up. forgetting to ask, if you guys have any questions or you want to see anything in particular in these videos or in our episodes, please let us know.
Yeah.
Because then we can film it for you.
Yeah. I want to say also thanks to everyone that's asked me about the water tank. I think we've sorted the issue out. There's been so many comments of people giving me little tips about what could be wrong.
Yep.
And it looks like it's one of the hoses has been crimped to stop the air coming through to filter the water through the pump. So I won't know until we get down to that last tank whether that's worked or not, but it was definitely crimped. 100% let us know if there's anything you want us to address on our trip, and we'll try to accommodate it.
Yep. Alright guys,
time to go.
We gotta go, we gotta eat.
I need to cook some steak on the barbecue. I need to put the drone up. The sun's going down and the wind stopped. So thank you so much for watching.
Maths dinner party tonight.
Oh God.
My sister got us onto maths when she came.
Adele,
So-
you've got a lot to answer for.
Yes, I know, we're hooked.
Anyway, thanks very much for your support. Thanks for watching.
Let's go.
Thanks guys.
Have a good week. Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah.